Hey guys, Soek here, welcome back to Persona 5. Let's carry on where we left off. We live to fight another day after some blatant black magic fuckery. We've managed to evade Akechi's wrath, the man who sold us out. I always knew he was suspicious, but his obsession with pancakes, apparently, is what gave him away. Thankfully, Joker was more observant than I was and picked up on it straight away. You could just see him shaking his head. He was just like, nah, no way, don't trust this Akechi guy one bit. And, well, I'm glad, because we're still alive. And, well, Akechi thinks he's won. I think I have the opportunity to win now. The game is not over. But at the end of the day, only one of us can emerge victorious. Let's see how it plays out. I heard they arrested one of the Phantom Thieves. No way! I didn't expect him to commit suicide. He's a murderer. He deserved to die. We can finally breathe easy now. He killed himself, huh? I guess we'll never know his motivation. No, I guess not. So what happens now? Do I, continue the charade that I'm dead? Just pack up, flee the country, start a new life in the Bahamas, maybe? I'm exhausted. It feels like my consciousness is about to fade away. Hey, are you alright? Oh, Sae. Thank you for saving my life. Don't fall asleep until we reach our destination. Where are you taking me? The shipping port? The airport? Are you listening? Could this be the effect of the drug wearing off? The memories I thought were gone are starting to come back. Alright. Another meeting without Akechi, one of the secret ones that we didn't invite him to. I did see, a couple of these things, I remember just before we sent the calling card, we had another meeting without Akechi, and there was a similar effect to this, and, well, guess that was just us planning what we were going to do, how we're going to handle Akechi. Are you listening? What were we talking about? I'm gonna need a refresher. I need an explanation. I need a peek behind the curtain. Show me the wires that was causing all these magic tricks to take place. You weren't paying attention? Well, I guess I can see how you'd be lost in thought right now. Anyway, we need to talk about how to get out of this situation. Futaba's monitoring of Akechi's phone has confirmed it. He did indeed have an ulterior motive. It's on a completely different level than just that. Not only was he trying to frame us, but he was the true culprit behind the mental shutdowns. Okay, it's confirmed. He is the Man in Black. I mean, if it wasn't already obvious. His offer to assist us was simply a plot to frame the Phantom Thieves and kill Wakun. But, why me? Is it because I'm the leader of the Phantom Thieves? I mean, he did say he was going to try and off the rest of us in accident-prone events, but still, I guess it's because I'm the leader. If we go into Sis's palace as he suggests, we'll likely be met by a large ambush of police forces. To think he would be this far gone. I now know what it means to feel a chill down my spine. Furthermore, he wishes to bring a police squad from reality into the palace. If the 8 of us can enter at once, it's not inconceivable to think a larger group is possible. What, so the entire Tokyo police force just huddled around a phone, strapped with MB5's armor, waiting for us to escape the casino? He may even be able to bring in vehicles or other special pieces of equipment. So this really was just a setup to shift the blame onto us. If only I could have used my persona to just wipe everyone out. But then again, I might have killed innocent police officers just trying to do their job, right? He made us go after Okumura. Then once we triggered the change of heart, he killed them. And he told us he had seen the true culprit. But it was him the entire time. I feel for Haru, man. The killer of her father was right in front of our eyes this entire time, pretending to help us with his pleasant smile and his good looks. The whole time he was working with Makoto's sister, he was really just some homicidal maniac. Come on, we gotta take that bastard Akechi down. Isn't that recording we got enough proof to do it? No, Akechi's merely a tool. His orders come from elsewhere. The grand mastermind behind this all. Yeah, Akechi's the kind of guy who seems to follow orders, even if he is capable of being a mastermind himself. He's getting his hands too dirty, if you know what I mean. Masterminds lurk in the background all the time. An unimaginable fiend, capable of arranging the murder of a suspect of a police station. Unless we find out who that is, we will continue being targeted, even if we defeat Akechi. But what means do we have of learning his identity? We'll have to make Akechi say it. Though once we do, that mastermind will likely eliminate us. But if we've still tapped his phone, he did say Shido's name at the end of it, and Shido did reprimand him for saying his name, so there you go. He had good reason to be paranoid. I think that'll be the case eventually, regardless of whether or not we learn his identity. The only reason it hasn't happened yet is because we're an easy target to blame for his crimes. As long as we're still useful, we remain alive and on the run. If he realizes that's no longer possible and abandons that plan, he may opt to kill us immediately. Damn it. So we don't got a choice but to go with that bastard's suggestion? But if we go into the palace as told, Mike will get arrested and then murdered by Akechi. The palace? The palace? Actually, there's something I'd like to say regarding... Aha! We can use the palace to our advantage. What's this all of a sudden? There's a way. A way to get past Akechi and get the mastermind to lay off of us, all while learning his identity. Really? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, please, explain. If he wants to kill Whack, why not let him? Cool, that's great, you know. As long as it's not your life on the line here, serving it up as some sort of sacrifice. That is, inside the palace. Yes. We could have him kill the cognitive Whack-kun, all the while believing he killed the real one. Yeah, that's it. But thankfully I didn't disintegrate into, like, ashes the moment he shot me in the head. It seems that's our only option. Listen close, everyone. I have a plan for how we can carry this operation out. Thankfully, we recruited some pretty smart people for this team.
Ever since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fallen silent. However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the case is fully solved.
I mean, you've got my name, and you may or may not have my corpse.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Ah, where am I? Stashed in the fridge? Because we did hear that dish full, didn't we?
Waiting upstairs. Go tell him to come on down.
Oh, that smug look on Sojiro's face.
I'm gonna fetch him.
You're her sister, correct?
Makoto told me everything.
We did see her at the courthouse, remember, Haru?
Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past summer.
It's nice to have Sae finally on our side.
It's ancient history now.
Feels like it.
Man, that goddamn detective.
So much has happened over the past couple of days. Uh-oh.
Look who's here.
It's not Akechi, is it? I swear to God, he can stop visiting this place now. Oh, it's me.
Hey, you big bastard.
Hey, ain't that big. Take it easy.
How have you been?
I've been better. I mean, I died.
You must be fine if you're joking around like that.
Clues in my code name.
It truly is a relief to see your face.
It is a relief that I am still alive. Apparently I did dodge a bad ending, which is also another relief. I just swear I thought I had a bad ending because they were talking about, you know, like, make sure you remember your confidants, make sure you make the right choices to get to the truth, and then I was picky about not giving up the Phantom Thieves. I was like hoping I, you know, connected with enough people. I was sure I had. I've met with so many. I've maximized my bonds with so many people, but then I saw myself get shot in the head and that all just went out the window. I was just like, fuck, I screwed up. I'm so shit. But thankfully, it was all according to plan. Just as I always had thought.
I bet that moron Akechi don't even know we tricked him yet.
Alright, take it easy. Really, he ain't a moron. He is the most dangerous man right now.
Still, how'd you pull this off?
With a little help from my friends, Sojiro. With a little help from my friends.
Isn't this guy considered dead?
Yes, I truly am a phantom thief now.
You weren't told anything?
Oh, shit, guys. My poor uncle here, stepfather, godfather, Sojiro. You're pretty much my dad now at this point. No one told you that I was coming back alive?
I heard my sister brought him here, though.
Yeah, she came over in a taxi, dumped him off, and told me to keep him safe.
Dumped me off? Like what, threw me out the door?
It was right after they announced he had died, too. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I didn't have time to explain.
This all feels better, isn't it? Because we've maxed out Sojiro, you know? If we were still like Bond 1, it'd be kind of a little bit strange, wouldn't it?
Hey, shouldn't we tell boss what really happened?
Me too, please.
We wanted to make our enemy believe the leader of the Phantom Thieves was dead.
So he stops looking over his shoulder. Thinks he's won.
What?
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
It's all, you know, Sun Tzu, Art of War, tactics, man.
Hold on a sec. Enemy? Fake? What are you talking about?
Sojiro, we're at war. And, well, the ball's in our court now. It's time for us to launch our counterattack sometime soon.
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
You know what this means, though? I can't go to school anymore.
True culprit? I see. So you guys were going up against someone else?
Something beyond the police at this point in time.
It was Goro Akechi.
Yeah, you're a VIP customer. He's not allowed to come here anymore.
You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
You talking to me? Akechi messed up.
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike back.
Yep, probably didn't even remember.
He made one fatal mistake.
He made conversation with us.
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi was the real culprit?
All he should have done was just say, "Hey, saw you guys loitering in the hallway." Nope, he had to be a smartass, try to assume he knew what we were talking about. We weren't even talking about bloody pancakes. I rewatched the freaking scene. Morgana was talking about the shape of a building.
That wasn't something we could simply bring up.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts to this grand conspiracy, Sae. I was afraid, you know, you wouldn't buy it. Not until we kind of, quote-unquote, changed your heart.
We couldn't have you suspect Akechi.
He might make a run for it, or take you out.
Besides, neither you nor the other investigators would have believed something like that, would you?
True.
Yeah.
Akechi was credited with the arrest of the Phantom Thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit. In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold move.
Isolate him.
God, I can't keep up with any of this stuff.
Well, he was the one who went into the lion's den, and, well, instead of biting his head off, we just, you know, marked him a little bit so we could follow his scent back to camp and maul the entire tribe.
So what was this mistake Akechi made? What did he do?
Pancakes. It's all to do with pancakes.
He slipped up in regards to Morgana's voice.
Oh god. Sojiro doesn't know that Morgana can talk.
You mean a cat?
Yes. Sojiro, we need to explain everything to you.
Yes, Morgana can talk.
Poor guy.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a joke?
I wish we could, like, rope Sojiro in a little bit, but I feel like he's just past that age gate, you know? Where it's not cool for such an older gentleman to be hanging out with Phantom Thieves. He has to stay on the sidelines for now.
Oh, our apologies. That's completely true. You surprised?
I promise we're not drugged. He can talk.
Does that mean he said something just now as well?
Yes.
But you don't understand him, do you? That's how it was for all of us at first, too.
When you're in the metaverse, Mona talks like a normal person. Once you hear that and your brain realizes he can actually talk, you start to understand him in reality.
Oh, I see. So it's nothing to do with personas, it's just actually going into the metaverse. Okay, alright. And then, oh, okay, I like that idea. Imagine if we just took a bunch of animals there and then We could be like Dr. Dolittle. That is, if they did have their own personas and are supposedly human.
It's a change in cognition, most likely.
You just have to concentrate really hard. There is no meowing, you know, just like there's no spoon. It's words.
Thanks to Akechi's lame acting, we figured out something was up.
Now I'm really glad he took that chili and ate it. God, I hope it gave him so much grief.
When we talked to Akechi at the school festival, he was acting like he just realized Mona could talk. But we already saw him drop a mega hint about it way earlier.
Oh, I know a place! I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here!
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
You were very mistaken. Now take your briefcase and piss off.
Mona was the only one who was talking about a pancake.
I must say though, I do like Akechi. Like, as a character, I hate his guts right now, but I do appreciate him. I respect him. He's a formidable opponent. So, I'm kind of glad that I gave him so much shit, like all those times earlier, and...
That meant Akechi'd already been in the metaverse by then.
Mm-hmm.
And since he was lying to us about that, we assumed he had a hidden motive behind contacting us.
It seemed odd upon further thought. His reaction to my pancake comment was an honest one, after all.
We got lucky. We really did.
That said, we weren't so naive to overlook something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we asked Futaba-chan to wiretap his phone.
I pretended to be interested in checking the phone out, but I was actually planting my app.
Took a while, but I finally remembered, yes, she did grab his phone, and then I was like, why isn't he so panicked? Like, he's too calm for this. Maybe he's not a traitor after all, but he was. He was just that confident we wouldn't find anything. Joke's on him, though. We're the ones who put something in it.
My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
He did good.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed so quickly.
Should have known that our tech geek of all people.
Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
Yeah, that's true.
That was just an act!
Yeah, acting natural. I get it.
After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
Damn, Haru looks mad right now.
I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the Phantom Thieves in the act. That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. I'll deal with them after that.
He's not wrong. What else are they supposed to do? Wait for us to materialize in the real world? It's not exactly proof that we're, you know, changing hearts and causing shutdowns.
Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that?
Pretty naive for a detective, though, to be spilling these plans on a phone. You'd think he'd want to meet in person. Then again, Shido's that kind of paranoid guy that he doesn't even want his name said. Probably didn't want to meet in person either.
Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple.
Shoot him in the head.
Is this for real?
Yes.
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Yeah. You didn't just save my life, you saved his as well.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest. And thus, the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass mental shutdowns shall end his own life.
Yeah, well, I know you were trying to talk about me there, but perhaps this may be the fate awaiting you in the end, Akechi. We'll see.
When he does, you will become a great hero who saved Japan from evil. As will I, of course.
I knew he was acting strangely, but to think he was this far gone.
Wonder what caused his descent into madness. How did he find out about the metaverse and taking advantage of it?
He's no ace detective. Akechi is the perpetrator behind the mental shutdown crimes.
Detectives walk a fine line because they're the ones who need to have, like, you know, sort of the mind of a criminal to investigate these sort of things. I wonder which came first, the detective or the criminal?
On top of that, there's someone else commanding Akechi. Someone with great authority. So great that they can order an assassination in a police station.
Who would want to be the hero who saved Japan? Certainly not some supermarket clerk.
That's why we had to make a move before they did.
I see.
We baited Akechi into Sis's palace, making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him.
Can you elaborate on that in more detail? What exactly happened in my cognitive world?
Your cognition of me, your perception of me.
We're sorry for using you without your permission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
What conditions?
First, we required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
The police station's not that far away from the courthouse. That's what they were talking about. That's right.
That place is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
That's right. That's how we made our way to Kamoshida's castle. We thought everything else looked the same until we hit upon the gigantic fortress.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing.
That brings back memories.
You totally can't tell the difference if there ain't any distortions around.
We had already investigated Niijima-san's palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
I was seriously impressed by that suggestion.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we got a good team. We got a freaking smart team. I'm impressed.
To be honest, I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it.
That's me in most games, to be honest. Most stories with plot twists, I just nod my head, bubble along like a blind man, just like trying to figure things out. It was a great idea.
Yeah. It's good we have her heading up our operations.
Yeah. Sae, are you proud?
Makoto is normally so calm as well, but once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi.
You and me both.
But I just couldn't contain myself anymore once you became a target, sis. The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal your heart, after all.
Oh, really? You were just working up the nerve to tell us to change our heart. Was that it?
My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I wasn't myself at all. I'm sorry I couldn't see that.
That goes for the both of us. We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Niijima-san.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my laptop?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, at least she's amused. It's always nice when you, like, apologize and they laugh instead of scold you.
There were two things we were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse. First, our clothes didn't change when we were down in the interrogation room.
Because we weren't threats.
Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
There was also one more thing we absolutely needed to make this work. A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work. They looked no different from actual living people.
After that, we just had to work our way into the palace like usual, while keeping Akechi in the dark.
Yeah, wasn't that hard, was it? Keeping Akechi with his big fat ego bumbling along. Probably started tunnel visioning, probably started getting excited that he was finally going to put an end to the Phantom Thieves and execute his grand plan.
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sis's shadow. However, it was then that we were met with a terrifying, unexpected police ambush.
Unexpected?
As a result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, we couldn't get it out of the metaverse. Except that was all an act. We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand, and merely acted like we were taking the treasure.
Right, that's when Yusuke and Ryuji walked off, and they were pretending, oh my gosh, police ambush! Thankfully, Ann kept her mouth mostly shut. Otherwise, the whole gig would have been up straight away.
This was because we knew the police would be coming for us.
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to ambush us. And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Instead of preventing things from happening, we used it to our advantage, which is pretty cool. Art of War, deception, it's a pretty important component of it. Highly suggest you read it, Akechi, sometime. Wait, I shouldn't be giving my enemy advice.
Him being captured by the police went exactly how we planned it.
Exactly. All those backflips, that was just me showing off, but it was all meant to happen.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this. But how did you lure Akechi into this cognitive world's interrogation room?
By showing him the phone with the app already active.
All I needed were the coordinates.
I'm guessing. It seems like she used this laptop to remotely access the metaverse. That evil grin in the background. Asking her about it now would drag the conversation on too long. I should talk to her later.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious.
Yeah, that looks exactly like him. It's a pretty accurate composite sketch.
It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room.
Yeah, hilarious. So hilarious that I could possibly die. Yusuke, thank you so much.
Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
Yeah, you know it.
So that's why you gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
I was actually just doing push-ups, you know, backflipping, over the table, waiting, biding my time.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
I'm just glad I didn't die, alright?
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that started coming to me on his phone. Huh. So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
And you didn't know anything.
In our experience, there is little danger when someone enters their own palace for so short a time.
Yeah, we saw that with Futaba.
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his escape. By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
Yeah, last thing we needed was him turning the gun on the real you.
Huh. Astounding. I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
Yeah, well, your shadow self wasn't quite as ignorant. She was quite the monstrosity.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation.
Yeah, I mean, I maxed out charm for a reason, okay?
Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
True.
I mean, you know, I am dating your sister, Sae, so kind of needed your approval.
Why is that?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible.
I still would have been captured and Akechi would have tried again, this time in the real world.
That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble.
Thanks to the bathhouse right across the street, and, well, the few times I hung out with Oya, even though I'd already maxed out my charm by then, so I don't really count those.
We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
It's pretty much why I had to tell her almost everything truthfully. It's the only way to get her on our side.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you confident you could do it?
Absolutely not. I was not at all, no.
Then it truly was a do-or-die situation? That's crazy.
Sometimes you gotta risk it all. You never know where the whims of fate may lead you.
Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
Hey, I just come from the casino, so I was feeling lucky.
If we could just tell you the true culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize the bigger picture. Realize that our leader was telling the truth, and that there was a greater evil to pursue.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
I don't know about victorious. Oh, I suppose. We've won the battle, but there's still the war we need to deal with.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
Yeah. Bonus points, really, that we got to infiltrate your palace.
This is stunning. All I can really do is laugh.
Because it's us. It's her sister, and people, like, she somewhat knows. If it was complete strangers, she might be, like, less impressed.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi kill a fake.
Well done. Good start.
But what did you do about the body?
Oh, it vanished.
The police never even checked it.
Ah, right. They just took Akechi's word for it.
Huh?
And there's not going to be an autopsy. Akechi will make sure of that.
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
So I could just imagine, like, Shido and Akechi just having drinks, just going, oh, I don't know, Akechi maybe sipping his lemon lime and bitters because he's still high school. Just, you know, chatting over dinner. It's like, oh, man, so how did you even get the body out of the police station, Akechi? And Akechi's going to be like, I thought you did that. And then Shido's going to be like, no, I thought you did that. And they're like, no. Oh, and then they'll realize. But too little too late, hopefully, at that point.
The bad guys have that much influence?
Mm-hmm.
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise. We also knew of a possible conspirator.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand.
You were in the middle of basically a puppet show.
And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray. As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Niijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him.
It was necessary.
The callous use of violence and even drugs is utterly abnormal.
Well, this is an abnormal case.
If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died. I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
Thanks. I'm glad too. It was close.
I almost became one of your assailants as well.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
Yeah.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion.
Except Ryuji just had to smile. He couldn't help himself. He was just like, got him.
Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
Thanks, Haru. That means a lot.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
Alright. It's because of our bro bond. We know what happens to each other at all times. You know, it's like the Force in Star Wars.
I wanted to believe, but considering what we were up against.
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Can it, cat?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
Yeah, like I said, as long as she stayed away from all the acting, we were in good shape.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander.
Even though it wasn't your jurisdiction anymore?
What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash.
Speaking of your superior.
Very well. From here forward, I will do my utmost to assist you.
Cool. Well, we lost our contact on the police force in Akechi. Not that he was ever a contact in the police force, but we've got the prosecutor on our side.
You saved me, after all.
You saved me, so we're kind of even. But sure, I'll take your help. Thanks.
That's reassuring to hear.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Just let me know.
Thanks, Sojiro. Just giving me a roof is plenty.
Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is pooped.
I feel like I feel exposed just sitting here in this booth, you know? What if Akechi just comes by and sees me sitting here? He'll like, you know, rub his eyes and be like, wait, is that him?
Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together and talk.
Cool, thanks. I mean, we are getting together to talk right now, so.
You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word and I'll close shop early.
Oh, Sojiro. That's nice.
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs.
I'm pretty much under house arrest for now.
It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town. It won't be a huge loss for me.
Still, you're sacrificing a lot.
Let us accept his offer. What a great man.
You're not supposed to just accept it straight away, Yusuke. You're supposed to go, oh, Sojiro, you don't have to. You know, there's a routine to these kind of things. The summary of the story up to this point has been updated. To read, press the triangle button. Yada yada. Meanwhile, where Kamamiya?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, does it? Bet your ass it is, you asshole. You're the one who sent me here in the first place.
It's me, Akechi.
Sounds like he's in the bathroom.
Enter.
So they do meet in person.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a problem with it?
Not that you know of.
No, nothing in particular. More importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
The cause of death for the SIU Director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence.
Akechi, you know, well, never mind actually, I was gonna say. Akechi, you're kind of expendable too, but then again, he's the guy who goes into the metaverse. It's like asking your hitman to kill himself. Or
His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves interrogation room too.
He's got that pleasant smile back again rather than his diabolical one.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
You were praised as a hero before you even shot me in the head, so take from that what you will.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
But what about the cat?
And on to our next story, the snap election for the House of Representatives.
This is all taking place on the same day.
Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
I see.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us. It's not like we can vote in them yet anyways.
No, but we could manipulate them.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing him.
Yeah, how about we just, you know, celebrate the fact that I am alive for one night. Just one night where I can just relax rather than, you know, because this would have been on my mind the entire time we were, you know, going after Sae. Ever since Akechi, like, entered the picture. In terms of the Phantom Thieves, I had to be worried and anxious about the fact that I needed to convince Sae in one night with the limited time we got.
Have you figured out who's behind all this?
We've got a stepping stone.
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder.
All right.
He said, Shido-san.
Yes. So we were still tracking him at that time.
Shido? Feels like I've heard that somewhere.
Ask the adults. They're the ones who watch the you know, political programs and whatnot.
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
I think so.
Who?
I believe he's a politician. Remember Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
Yeah, should have changed his heart just from that.
For real?
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
Politician, plenty of influence and power.
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Was he on your radar already?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility.
What, did he have shares in with Okumura Foods?
First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns.
Makes the current government look incompetent.
He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity.
It's kind of like a short sale, you know, like insider trading. While the Phantom Thieves are all popular, he's the one who's like, no, they're bad. Just like Akechi, right? And everyone goes, oh, this guy's a moron. And then once the Phantom Thieves get outed as bad, everyone's like, whoa, he was a genius. He was right the entire time. Same with Akechi. Oh my god. And then the popularity just skyrockets from there.
On top of that, he'll most likely become the next prime minister if he wins this upcoming election.
Goes all the way to the top.
No.
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
Honest public image. He sued me.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses. We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes. Mom.
Shido, huh?
What's up? Did you know him from your government days?
What is the matter?
And Wakaba's research?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this. Just based on the connections I had from my previous job.
I knew it. That's how we found out about the
I think the one
Metaverse.
who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido.
He's the one who set the Men in Black.
From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved. But there wasn't anything I could do. So I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
What the hell was he doing in my hometown anyway? Not that I know where I'm from. But,
Why didn't you say that sooner?
because all he had was suspicions, I guess.
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had.
Right.
He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Well, right now we don't have a choice. If we want to stay alive, we have to go after him.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was connected.
Maybe it is fate that I landed in Sojiro Sakura's house.
The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Not to mention Shido is the one who actually sent me here in the first place.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day. Nobody believed him, though.
Dreamed big, did he?
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes prime minister? What about the world?
The issue is simpler than that.
All to become prime minister. Just to get power. Just to do a thankless job.
This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
Just so he could be remembered, I guess.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
What's his palace gonna be?
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for prime minister.
I would have said castle, but we've already got that with Kamoshida.
Got a hit! Well, duh. Ain't a surprise he has one.
I wonder if Akechi just guards it on his days off from school.
Where would the location be?
A politician. Maybe this is where we get like a tall tower building. The White House, except we're in Japan, so it doesn't really apply.
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
Yeah, but I need a location, a locale.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
Maybe just pull out a dictionary and just read out all the words.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
Yeah, the Diet Building. There we go.
We got a hit!
Just like, Sae's was the courthouse.
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building?
Well, if he's the impending Prime Minister.
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. We're gonna do this, right?
Well, he's gonna love seeing a calling card land on his desk. What about Akechi?
No need to waste time with him. We just gotta hit the head. Nobody against it?
It's not about just hitting the head, okay? He's the dragon. He's the neck, the throat.
Of course.
If we take out Akechi, who's the throat, we pretty much disable the head anyway. But then, of course, we still have to go for the head.
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win this together.
Time for revenge.
Then it's unanimous.
Alrighty. That's a unanimous vote.
All we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
Yeah.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
That's alright.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
Cool, but I'm not allowed to leave the house, so it's all on you guys.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Should
It's
we
not
start
house, it's
tomorrow
cafe.
then? We can meet at the Diet Building after school.
I can't even go to school.
That reminds me. What are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Just give me a wig and a mustache, I guess.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
Oh, thanks, Kawakami.
That's what I told the school.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Ojiro.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, alright? This whole thing would be for nothing.
Oh man, I can't call her over for a massage anymore.
What do you mean?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's clutches. Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time. He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassination.
A student.
A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
Okay, so wow, we're gonna go one step further and cause a mental shutdown in him? I don't know about that. Speaking of which, why is he relying on a high schooler to take... why? Surely he could afford like a proper hitman rather than the high school detective who's literally still in high school.
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide.
Right, it's to disprove them. Look, they're forging shit.
Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement.
And it'll be embarrassing for him. The guy who supposedly took down the Phantom Thieves and took all the credit for it.
He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Jeez.
Everyone's gonna flip.
Yep. It's gonna be like the legend of whack exclamation mark.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
Yes. Okay, we're not playing checkers here. We're playing chess.
We're intellectuals, you know.
Yeah, some of us more than others.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
You should see Akechi.
But the true battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
There's a joke on the Discord server that actually by catching up to the present day after all those flashbacks, I'm actually just finished the prologue and there's still so much to go in the game. Apparently, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how much longer we've got in the game, but man, I just don't want it to end. I want to keep going.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature.
He's not wrong.
We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
I finally made it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
Back then, you were in the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
I bet it wasn't that hard, considering this guy's personality. It's a very winning one.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers.
I suppose that's one advantage that he has over other hitmen. He's got access to the metaverse.
If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
I like this little exposition here. Remember when I made all those troublesome opponents psychotic and I erased any trace of that scandal? God, good times, wasn't it, Shido? Yes, Akechi, very good. Amazing. It was brilliant ever since I looked into that research that Wakabayashi that I'd stolen from her and her daughter, Futaba Sakura, all those years ago.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown?
Alright, well these guys are traveling down memory lane while we're looking towards the future.
And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology.
See, I told you. All they need to do is crack open one of those champagne bottles to the left.
I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research. I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Told you. Like, this exposition.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root. After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side, until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to secure his promotion.
Yep, makes sense to me.
He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. He didn't know who leaked that information. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own vested interests.
Well, I can't wait for you to shine a light on that and prove them wrong and show how politicians really should act, Shido.
The general public has forsaken such political affairs and don't even bother. Only ruin awaits us.
Indeed, and only I can stop it.
I must agree.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. I will lead this country to its revival. Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals.
Exactly. It's like assassinating them, but in a more confusing way for the police to identify, and you can't really catch a culprit.
Which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you.
You could either do that, or you could do like you did with the SIU Director. Go in, get some blackmail material, come out, force them to back off.
And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Right, you're not even a real detective.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own. The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
They did become troublesome, I hope.
And they were just brats once we looked into it.
The B word.
All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
Damn brat.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better man.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations, but flipping it made the negative press stronger. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned.
It's all going surprisingly swimmingly.
The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister.
I'd love to just prevent you from becoming Prime Minister, but something tells me that you're going to become Prime Minister first.
However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me. And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided. That is my duty as the chosen one. Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly.
Yeah, just wait until Akechi turns on you.
When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world. Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts.
Is that all you want?
I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you would come up with debauched desires.
He's too young to come up with proper wishes.
I am thinking about the future, though.
Yeah. Maybe you want a queen size or a king size bed in your cell. Or do you want mahogany, or do you want to be buried in a straw coffin?
Guess you won't be going to school for a while.
Nope. Lucky I'm top of the class, huh?
Don't worry about it. This'll be a breeze compared to what we've had to face so far.
Are you sure?
And we'll have all the time to come up with the plans together. To be perfectly honest, I don't really care what happens to Shido, one way or the other.
How could you not care? This guy literally ruined my life. Oh, I mean, he also gave it purpose. But, you know, he didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time.
But when I consider the fact that he's your enemy, I naturally think he's my enemy as well.
He's all our enemy, okay? If not just me, he's Futaba's enemy. And Haru's.
I'm going to stay with you until the very end.
And Makoto's, because, you know, Sae kind of got in the way and could have been potentially in danger. Thanks, Makoto.
Well, how do I put this?
Looks like things have finally settled down. Life's gonna get real busy for you starting tomorrow, right? Get some rest. How's it gonna get busy? I literally can't go downstairs.
Well then.
The chief's right. Let's hit the hay. Not with everyone watching. Jeez. Clear the false charges. Steal Shido's heart. Infiltrate Shido's palace.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the police report on your death isn't going to show up at your school. No need to worry. Seems Prosecutor Niijima worked out some kind of deal with the higher-ups or something. I mean, they haven't even said anything to me even. As long as you stay quiet, you'll be fine. And I guess if they reported your death now, they'd basically be saying you were a Phantom Thief. They can't really go announcing what the Phantom Thieves are, so I'm sure they'll avoid that. That's good news. I see you've taken poor Morgana's spot.
Well,
that reminds me, your relationship with Akechi unexpectedly grew stronger, didn't it? Even though Akechi was talking to the fake you at the time. That is true. That's true. Akechi met the cognitive you in the palace. I don't know what he said to that version of you in there, but we should make use of this. And if nothing else, it shows our operation was a smashing success. Interesting. How did you know that that our bond had grown stronger? Remember how I hijacked your phone during the school trip? That kind of came in handy. How so? Well, remember how I put that wiretap app in Akechi's phone? Basically, that let me see GPS info for two phones, yours and his. Now, what could I do with that info? I'd be able to tell the precise moment Sae Niijima, who had your phone, ran into Akechi. That's when I saw my chance and beep, sent the signal to activate the Metaverse Navigator. But there was a chance they'd just pass each other without saying a single word. That's why we needed you to tell Sae Niijima to show the phone to Akechi.
Whoa.
This plan still surprises me no matter how many times I hear it.
But
still, I couldn't just directly hack into the Metaverse Nav. It's a mysterious app after all. But you know how that has that bookmark function? All you have to do is push the button. Making the phone think he was pushing that button was totally doable. Pretty good, huh? It was pretty astounding. Let's not do that today. Yeah, shady commodities. Probably not the best thing to open in front of Futaba and Sojiro.
I'm gonna head back then.
I guess I'll head home. Go to bed, alright? Sleep. What else can I do? Well, the pole's steady. Kid had it coming, lol. Jeez. He went down easy. Apparently, Akechi arrested the leader of the Phantom Thieves. He's a hero. I'm so glad Akechi's back. I hope they can catch the rest of the Phantom Thieves, too. He really is amazing. Early morning. There's no point in even having an election. Shido's gonna win. Of course, he's the only reliable politician there is. Plus, the current government has been getting wrapped up in scandal after scandal. Even more importantly, there's just some aura around him. Like he can fix whatever problems we have. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me who does it. I just want to see our society back on track. Especially after it turned out those Phantom Thieves were nothing more than scum in the end. We'll show you. Man, I'm still getting up early in the morning. I heard you went home, so I announced it during homeroom. Are you okay? You're a bad teacher. I am, thanks. You're alive! The news is reporting you committed suicide. Call me when you can. How do you know? Oh, because you know I'm the leader of the Phantom Thieves, of course. I was so confused. But as long as you're safe, don't worry about school. Just take care of yourself, Heart. Does that mean like Yoshida and stuff's gonna call me as well? Guess not. Is it true that the leader of the Phantom Thieves died? How could the police let him commit suicide in jail? They need to get their shit together.
Cut that out!
Quiet down! You're in class! Break's been over for quite some time now. I swear you're like monkeys in the zoo! Hmm? Oh yeah! I received word from Amamiya's family that he'll be absent for a bit. Jeez. What do you people think school is, anyway? It's almost time. Sheesh, I had top grades, you know. Hey, it can't be true, can it? Please tell me you're okay. I'm all good. Oh, thank God you're safe. That suicide report was all over the news, and Ms. Kawakami said you went back to your hometown. I was honestly worried about contacting you. Yeah, what if that was the police? Like, who had confiscated my phone? Even Sakamoto was dodging the question when I tried to ask him. But don't worry, I won't tell anyone. By the way, the fan side is a real mess right now. But I'll keep supporting you from the shadows. Good luck. You don't need to worry about it in here. But try not to do anything to draw attention. Anyway, today's a day off, so eat your curry and take it easy. You can take your time with it too. It's not like any customers are going to be showing up. Sojo, come on, man. You gotta have a more positive outlook on your business.
Okay.
Let's try and think of the keyword once the Chief's curry has energized you. More texts. Everyone's concerned. Have you guys figured out the keyword at Shido's palace yet? I've tried all sorts of stuff, but no luck so far. Poor Akechi, he's been kicked out of the group. It is hard to understand the thought process of a criminal mastermind like him. You know, I've been wondering, if he's behind all of those mental shutdowns, doesn't that mean all the weird accidents from these past few years were his fault? Like that subway accident back in April? Yep, I think so. Now that you mention it, that accident lost the Minister of Transport his job. Yep, dismantling the government one by one by one. Wait, are you trying to say Shido caused that accident? But it's the subway. Does he not care at all about innocent lives? This man seems to be truly unbelievable. Supposedly there are still tons of victims from that in the hospital even now. Jeez, 7 months later. Masayoshi Shido. How many has he killed over the years? How could we ever understand what goes on in the mind of such a horrible man? The only way we can find out is if we can get into his palace. Hey, wouldn't it be faster if we just go there and try and think about it on site? Let's try that! If we're going to go, I'd like Wakkun to join, but will that be okay? Won't somebody spot him there? Exactly, it's too dangerous. We'll probably figure out the keyword in no time once we're there. Plus, I can throw off anyone who tails us with my blazing speed. Alright. Let's have Wakun join us then. Oh dear. Great. I'm already showing my face in public. Remember though, we're going with the intent of not being seen. Okay, well, let's meet in front of the diet building and force that bastard's palace open.
Well then.
Alright, let's head to the diet building. Make sure you aren't discovered, okay? Okay, that's what the hood's for. Yep.
What is it?
You going out? See you later. You gotta be kidding me. You realize you're done for if you get caught, right? Sheesh. The stunts you pull sometimes. Just don't stay out too late. What if Akechi's like...
here?
Yeah, that's good, but what if he's guarding the palace? Surely he's gonna expect some sort of retribution, but then again, he wouldn't know that we know Shido's name. Still, as a precaution.
Let's begin at once. Police cars are making rounds, so we can't stay here too long.
Do we literally have to stand out in the open? Couldn't we find a tree we could stand under or something? Or couldn't we, like, go into the sewers underneath the building? At least we're in proximity.
We already have Masayoshi Shido and Diet Building. All we need is what he thinks of this place.
Like I said, castle.
Maybe Mount Fuji, since it's the highest place in the country?
Space station. Overlord.
What about a mansion?
We haven't done a mansion, but similar to castle.
Since he's going to subjugate everyone as Prime Minister, perhaps a school?
Man, we really gotta just think outside the box with this one.
What about an arena, like the Colosseum?
Arena.
Imperial Palace?
Palace? Imperial Palace. Temple.
It's no good.
I thought we would have gained entry by now. Maybe we shouldn't have called you here.
Hey, you think he's guarding his whole palace with a barrier?
Barrier?
Shido stole the cognitive science research, right? Or maybe it had some special move written in it.
What if it's at the bottom of Mementos?
Is that even possible?
Who knows? I've got no idea.
So you're saying even if we came up with the location, it wouldn't work?
There was nothing like that in the notes I saw.
Anyways, what kind of person is Shido? I can't figure him out.
We're gonna need to investigate him a little bit. Check his LinkedIn page.
I did some light research on him last night, but I couldn't get a grasp on the type of man he is.
Got an idea?
That man over there is probably a legislator, right? I'll try asking him.
Sure, not suspicious at all. Make sure you don't show your face on the cameras. Here she goes.
Excuse me. I'm a member of the newspaper club at my high school. May I speak with you for a moment?
Okay, look good. She's actually, you know, gotten better at acting.
Sure.
What kind of person is Representative Shido? What's he think about the national diet?
His stance is dedication for country. It's how he's garnered everyone's trust.
So what, military base?
He's an admirable man of action, with a first-class determination. I'd say he's a model politician. I believe that he'll help create a wonderful future in which young adults like you can live in ease.
Jeez, sound like you're reciting some sort of pre-planned speech. Like he's been programmed.
An exemplary answer. It makes sense he wouldn't tell teenagers anything unnecessary.
Uh-oh, we've been spotted.
Look over there. He's on a walkie-talkie.
Great, I turned to face him.
Wait, is it about us?
That doesn't look good.
We should leave at once. Tomorrow's the day off, so let's have an early strategy meeting. Meet at LeBlanc, okay?
We
Alrighty.
should all think about this tonight.
I can just imagine like all of us lying in bed, just saying keywords into our phones all night long.
The criminals calling themselves the Phantom Thieves are no more. However, I believe that this country's citizens are still living their days in anxiety. These scandals only increase our distrust of the current government, As a citizen myself, I am enraged.
Look who's talking.
What does it mean to be a politician with responsibility? Working toward personal gain without consideration of the country is outrageous.
The election's public notification is tomorrow. But no matter where I go, people are cheering for Shido.
He's the hometown hero, it seems.
Everyone's being deceived so easily.
Uh-oh. What's up? I tried looking Shido's interviews up online. They all sound so goddamn fake. I checked his profile as well, but I couldn't find much outside of his title and education. He's currently 53 years old and has gone from being a metropolitan assemblyman to a representative. Though he is a cabinet minister, he's split from the ruling party to form the United Future Party. Shido's a cabinet minister? For real? His palace might be a cabinet. He was specially appointed to the position. That's his current title. Apparently he also won a contest for who people would most like to have as their boss. Voted most likely to become a politician in high school. Even the news sites write about him as though he's assured to become the prime minister. If only we could find out the meaning behind Shido's words.
In order to save this country that has been tainted by villains, social reform is essential.
Ugh.
Well, it's one way to get the kids looking at political news. What's with all the love for Shido? I get no one knows the truth about him, but it still creeps me out. Shit, well, I've got a gigantic poster of Phantom Thieves here.
Now then.
Wear a hood or something when you're out in a place where someone might recognize you, okay? Cool. Yep, that's what we're gonna have to do. Thankfully, you know, winter's coming, so wouldn't be out of place to wear a hood. Okay, Morgana, let's lie in bed and think of keywords.